Hello and welcome to Makers in Landscape series as part of IFLA APR 2025 podcast series for manufacturers in landscape created by ISOLA, Indian Society of Landscape Architects. Today's episode will focus on Vyara Tiles, a leading concrete tiles and paving solution manufacturer based in Surat, Gujarat. I am Pragya Shankar, a landscape architect, professor, and fellow member of ISOLA. ISOLA is a premier professional body of landscape architects in India. It was established in 2003, and since then it has been working on the profession with landscape architects, suppliers, manufacturers. And it is also affiliated with IFLA, International Federation of Landscape Architects. It's a full member of this organization. IFLA is an international body, and they have a regional chapter which is for Asia Pacific region, which is in short known as IFLA APR. IFLA APR, a chapter which is a very important chapter because it focuses on South Asia. IFLA is the global voice of landscape architects. It has over 77 international bodies that are part of it, and it has been working towards landscape architecture since many years now. Asia Pacific region chapter is a very important chapter of IFLA because this region has over half the population of the world. Over the last few decades, the region has grown exponentially in terms of urban development, economic development, and with that have come huge challenges for this region in form of climate change, sustainability, environmental challenges. IFLA APR conference, which will be hosted by India this year in November 2025, will be looking at issues related to these paradoxes of growth. It's a very important conference which will have academics and professionals coming from all over the world. IFLA APR Congress 2025 is planned to take place in Mumbai, a financial hub of the country and a center of cultural and urban transformation. This conference will focus on the theme Growth Paradox, Reimagining Landscapes. The aim of the conference is to explore growth paradoxes from the lenses of economy, society, culture, and philosophies. Coming back to the podcast series Makers in Landscape, today we have with us Mr. Mehul Jain, who is the Managing Director of Vyara Tiles. Mr. Mehul Jain joined Vyara Tiles in 1996 as a second-generation entrepreneur. He has worked with almost all departments of the company, but he's particularly passionate about developing and designing new products of Vyara Tiles. He is also a widely respected industry expert who is responsible for setting the direction for this company. Mr. Mehul Jain has also been a big supporter of ISOLA since almost 2 decades, right from its inception. Hello, Mr. Mehul. A warm welcome to you on behalf of Indian Society of Landscape Architects. Thanks a lot for joining us today for the podcast Makers in Landscape.
It's my absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Okay, beginning with the first question for you. Vyara Tiles is almost 5 decades old.
Yeah, more than 5 decades, yes.
So can you just share with us brief history of your company and how it also evolved into a landscape product-based company?
Yeah. So the company was started in around 1968 by my dad, my father, Mr. Padam Kumar Jain. And I joined the company only in 1996. And so it's been close to 30 years for me now. And till the turn of the century, we mostly did only cement tiles for interiors, which is colloquially known as a mosaic or the terrazzo tiles. These tiles started getting replaced by the ceramic and vitrified tiles towards the end of the century, and then we gradually moved towards more products for exteriors. And around the beginning of the 21st century, we also got into the manufacture of paving blocks. So that is the journey from the tiles for interiors to tiles for exteriors or products for exteriors. Then in around early 2000s, we came across architect Mr. Aniket Bhagwat for one of his interior projects. Though he's a landscape architect, but he wanted to use the mosaic tiles with a color like blue, something like this, and a deep red color for one of his projects. And we did that. We did tiles for that project, which he really liked. He got a lot of critical acclaim for that project, and that is how we got associated with him. And then over the course, we figured out that, oh, he's a landscape architect and he has a lot of use for our exterior products also, which he really sort of liked. And that is where the journey for the landscape products began.
Okay, so your journey actually aligned with journey of ISOLA.
Yeah, pretty much, I would like to believe. Pretty much, yes, yes.
But what has been key driving philosophy for your company?
So I think we are basically looking at three pillars. So the first for me is quality. So quality comes before anything else. It means anything that we do, it has to be of a high quality. So that is the first philosophy that we carry. Second, we believe that everything we do must also add value to the customer. So the customer must benefit from using my product as against using a solution given by somebody else. So that is the second key philosophy or the base. And the third would be, we always believe that as a company, we should always think win-win. So whether it is with the customer, whether it is with the employees, with our vendors, or with any other stakeholders, like it could be people associated with us or even the government. So we always feel that there has to be a win-win. So these, I would believe, are the foundations of our business philosophy.
So now that your journey started 30 years ago, and you must have started as a young, person.
Pretty raw, yes. Pretty raw, yes.
So how has what role you have played? How have you changed the manner in which the company's outlook was at that time period? How it has transformed through this time?
Yeah, so the early part was always trying to get hang of how the business is run and how the manufacturing happens, how things are. And then as one gets the confidence, then one also tries to look at the possibilities of what is possible. And I was in a privileged position being a second generation entrepreneur, and I also had the privilege of traveling a bit. So I had seen a lot of landscape or a lot of products in use across the world. And this thing always troubled me that in India, we didn't have that standard of streets or that quality of streets. As a product manufacturer, I had sort of made my mind that we would be offering the quality of products that are on par with the best in the world. So I think that slowly percolated, and that's how that's the direction we took. And my role also since then has been to develop new products, so set up new projects within our company which help development of these products. And my role pretty much is mainly development of products, development of projects, and finding solutions for, say, streets or what the architects need, what the projects need. So finding appropriate solutions which will work very much in the Indian context. So that has been my focus, more or less, yes.
Yeah, so you have almost answered my next question.
Oh, is it?
Yes, where I wanted to know, what are the kind of innovations that you have been working on in this company? So I think you have answered part of it. But
I think I can add more to that. So most of the products that we have developed or we are manufacturing, they are some sort of solution or the other for some usage. So whether it is paving, so we try to make sure that the paving is suitable for vehicular traffic. In most of the cases, our paving is suitable for vehicular traffic unless it is specifically made for pedestrian areas. If it is curbing, then we've tried to make sure that the entire range of curbs is available, which takes care of all the details. Like you may have curved roads, and we have special curved radiused curbs. We have the dropper curbs, which allow access for wheelchair access. We have angled curbs. So we have a lot of products which take care of all the small details that a landscape architect or a street designer will encounter. So we feel it would be good if the landscape architect or the designer is familiar with our range of products.
True. And durability, maintenance is a very, very big issue related to any landscape product, especially they're exposed to weather all the time. So how do your products deal with these issues?
Yeah, so as I've already mentioned first, that for us quality is the cornerstone of everything we do. And this is not just a thought, but it also translates into action. We have in-house within our factory some of the finest labs in the country. Our lab is better than many of the professional laboratories also, and we extensively test for a lot of parameters which the product is likely to encounter on site. For example, other than the typical strength parameters, we are also able to test for water absorption, which will ensure that the products perform well in heavy monsoon or heavy rainfall areas. We test for abrasion resistance so that we know that the material will not abrade over time. So many such tests, it's a long list actually, but many such tests are actually performed which tell us first how a product is likely to perform in the field. So we take care of all these things to ensure that the quality that is supplied from Vyara is not just very high quality, but it's also very consistent, and it will serve the site for a lot of years to come.
Right. Is there any specific product that you would like to highlight? Because I think you're doing a lot of innovations. Is there anything new, innovative project that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, so recently we did what we call the escalon. It is a combination of planks of paving, which I think it's the first time in India we've introduced. So typically architects or landscape architects, whenever they wanted that plank kind of a feel, they would always use stones. And then when you have vehicles running over those paved areas with thin, slender stones, you have a lot of breakage issues and maintenance issues over time. So we introduced our escalon range, which is 100 mm thick, and in a lot of different sizes you get it. So it gives a very plank kind of a feel, and it's a very good option to stones. Also, we have our range of modular paving where we have a lot of combination of paving stones which are very difficult to tell apart from stones, but functionally they are much easier to lay, much better to use, and much more environment friendly. So that is another range of products. Of course, I mentioned the curb stones, the range of curb stones that we have. We've been the first in the country to introduce that kind of a range. And it is a range which any manufacturer in the world would be proud of. So yeah, we keep doing whatever we think will help the industry, whatever is a good solution for the customer. Anything that will benefit the site, we are always open to trying that out.
I think you've also worked a lot with the landscape architects and designers closely. Is there any project that you would like to share where the design decisions have changed, or our final outcome of the project has changed because of your products?
Yeah, so I think one special mention would be the Pallava City project that we did with Mrs. PBB. So that was one of the first projects where the extensive range of curb stones were used, extensively flagstones were used for pedestrian applications. So the Pallava City, as you might be aware, it is a private development in which they want to eventually house 1 million people. So the streets particularly had to be designed like a model town, model city. And our range of products allowed that to happen. Right. And now the space is close to 10 years old. But you can see from the design point of view, from the performance point of view, the space is a dream. And like if you were to visit the space, even as a visitor, you feel like, okay, this is some place I would like to live in, So that's the kind of deliverance the project has got because of the design and the products, the two going together. Yeah.
Where is this project based?
This is in near Navi Mumbai, near Kalyan, yes,
Okay.
Pallava City.
What message would you like to share with practicing landscape architects in reference to how to integrate your products more effectively?
So yes, we have a very wide range of products, as I've already been talking, which takes care of most of the hardscape requirements and streets. And a good knowledge about what we have to offer. Our websites are very well documented, so that can help the landscape architects to keep referring to our website. Any new product that comes up, we make sure that it's up on the website very immediately. We are also very well equipped to give out technical specifications in case architects need to include them in their tenders. We help with CAD drawings and even with design suggestions possible with our products. We can also help with detailing. So if there is some turn or a corner that needs to be detailed, if there's a sloping road that needs to be detailed, we can help, our office can help with detailing of those spaces also. So if the landscape architects are aware of our these faculties, then they can dig in and use whatever facility they may need from our end.
I think it can be a great help to the professionals, because it is really that you find an industry that is ready to work with finding solutions together. So that's really great.
Yeah, and we are always we are also always trying to help that process. We always feel that the landscape architect is of course an expert, but for our product, we should be the expert and we should guide regarding the proper usage of the products so that the site eventually turns out without problems.
Now, sustainability has become recently a very, very important issue, and building industry especially is under focus for this. So, how's your company aligned with issues related to these concerns?
So, I don't know, now recently, as we were just discussing before that, now there are two views on sustainability. Some people think it is a hoax and some people take it very seriously. So we feel we are in the latter category. We've always taken it very seriously. And I have children, and I feel that what we do now will have an impact on their lives and for the generations to come. So we've always been very serious about sustainability. I think even before sustainability became such a buzzword. And at our end, we are doing everything we can to mitigate our carbon footprint. So, for example, we use a lot of supplementary cementitious materials by which we've reduced our cement consumption to close to half. We have close to 100% capacity in solar power. So previously, whereas we were using all coal-based power, today, a lot of it is coming through solar renewable power. So that is cleaner. For example, our curing facilities, we almost don't use any water for curing. So in our manufacturing process, there's a lot of saving in water. And there are many such initiatives. We recycle a lot of our own material. We make sure that a minimum quantity goes out as landfill. We actually monitor it. We have our data and we keep monitoring that. So there are several such steps which we take, and we are also open to, bringing in new technologies as they become available to make sure that our carbon footprint is minimum. And this is not something just at my level, but I think everyone in the organization is aware that we are a company that wants to minimize our carbon footprint and do no harm. As long as you are working, you do no harm to others. So that's a very core principle of our philosophy.
Now, in reference to the products, these days there's a lot of talk about creating products that can actually help in making resilient landscapes. Right? So, is there any innovation or any work which is happening in your product line towards making more resilient landscapes?
So resilient meaning from a sustainability standpoint or?
Largely from sustainability point of view.
So, our products, especially the paving range, it is already one of the most environment friendly products, if I may say. If you compare it with a concrete road and you compare a concrete road with a paved solution from our side. So concrete road typically is 200 to 50 mm thick. Our products can be 80 to 100 mm thick. So in the first instance, we've cut by half the amount of resources that will be used in the paving. Also because everything is made in factory, as I said earlier, that we've cut down the usage of cement by half and a lot of other environment friendly practices that we have undertaken. So overall, the solution that you get from our side will be objectively the best or most environment friendly solution with a minimum carbon footprint. So that always has been a focus, and that is how it is. So we are quite proud and happy about that.
So overall, if you look at a landscape project, they can be more sustainable, can have a smaller
if they incorporate our products, and there are in fact a lot of lead points available. Our products have Green Pro certification. We are able to help out with certificates from our end. So there are a lot of advantages for using our products for the sustainability part, yes.
And according to you, what is the role that building industry can play? Because you have been working with building industry the entire time. What is the role they can play towards climate change, towards sustainability, towards climate issues that we are facing today in the world?
So I think this can happen at a couple of levels. One is the entire building industry, means starting from the customer, everyone should demand that the products are greener, the solutions are greener, there's a smaller carbon footprint. So that demand has to go through the supply chain. Means they ask the product manufacturer will ask their suppliers at the back end. So this has to go all through. And once this demand comes in for more environmentally friendly products, then everyone is obliged to be, part of that chain and part of the system. So this is one important part. And the other is generally the awareness, and it should not be mere lip service, but it has to be something that everyone really looks forward to doing, and inculcate it as a part of. It should be a given, like how design is a given today, how quality is a given. So sustainability or environment friendliness or a low carbon footprint needs to be a given in the times to come. Means it's not something that has to be mentioned. It should really be at that level that it is a given, and people don't work without that. So I think that is a way forward.
Agreed. Everybody has to play their role.
Yes, absolutely.
It's everybody's responsibility. It's a collective responsibility.
Absolutely. No two ways about it.
Very well said. So last question related to sustainability. We can also look at socio-economic sustainability of the craft traditions in the country. So has your company doing any work with craftsmen or societies to help in sustainability of these traditional practices?
Yes, so especially in our freeform range, which is the range of products that we apply on site, we do need a lot of craftspeople, and there are a lot of traditional arts like plastering or terrazzo floors. So we are adapting all those arts. So using those arts and adapting them for some more new finishes as well. So that is something that's very interesting that is coming out in the recent times from our company. So that is one thing we do, where we try to get on board local craftspeople. And other than that, we are also doing some CSR activities for the local regions, for schools, for children going to schools. And we are also doing some funding of research works for some of the leading research foundations in the country.
In continuation with our discussion on sustainability and the innovation in the products, currently this sponge city is the new concept that world is talking about, and permeable paving has a huge role to play in that. So what are your views on products related to this permeable paving, and also the execution on site?
Yeah, so when people talk about permeability, there are two types of permeability. One is where the product itself lets the water go through. So that's actually a permeable paver. And the other system is where the water percolates through the joints between the pavers, in which you make the joints bigger and you allow for the water to percolate through the joints. In the first case, I do not believe it will be a successful solution in India, simply because India is a dusty place. The dust will settle on the porous pavers and it will really clog it up and it will make it look very messy. The permeable paving system, where the water goes through the joint of the paver, is definitely an option that we need to look into. From a paver manufacturer point of view, it's a very simple solution. You just make the spaces bigger and you ensure that there is space between the paver joints. But the bigger challenge will come from the point of view of the construction of the base, or the design of the base, and then the construction, which will involve the landscape architect to be on board. It will involve the developer to be on board. It will involve the structural consultant to be on board. And at least for the first few projects, one should look to consider even having a foreign consultant who has executed such projects to be on board, because only then a complete solution will be possible. In our country, a lot of places where we are working, we have a lot of clay soils. So in the clay soils, the system has very limited uses. So that is why it is not so popular yet. But having said that, it is a very important thing that we should look at. What I am given to believe, for example, in the UK, almost 60 to 70% of all paving is permeable paving, and permeable paving is accepted as a measure of SUDS, or sustainable urban drainage system.
Right. It has almost become a norm there.
Yes, so they have in fact they have a lower tax for permeable paving. So yes, it is something that definitely we should look at, the industry should look at. And from a paver manufacturer, it's no problem at all. But once there is enough conviction in everyone to move forward, I think the way will reveal itself.
Hope you find an interested client soon.
Yes,
to be able to
absolutely,
test this.
Absolutely.
Now, you've had a very long relationship with ISOLA. You've been supporting a lot of activities. You've been working with professionals since a long, long time. So what is your view on, this development of this entire profession and the future of this profession in the country?
So I feel that the requirement for landscape design has means it's gone through the roof. That's my sense, because early on there were very few projects which really stood out, and then when you questioned why these projects are so good, then one figured, oh, there's been landscape architecture involved here, or there's been landscape design. The projects have been designed from a landscape architect's point of view. Today, the situation is such that you will not have a project worth its salt without having a landscape architect. And more importantly, landscape architect from the very beginning or the conception. That's my sense, that no project worth its salt will be without that. So you have to say, yes, the profession has developed, the awareness has developed, and so there's no two ways about it. The importance has increased, definitely.
Right. And I think having landscape architect right from the inception of the projects can make a lot of
it definitely adds much more value, rather than getting a landscape architect towards the end just to green a project or to beautify a project. Is just getting like 20% or 10% of the value that a landscape architect can offer to the project.
You also hinted towards collaborating with landscape architects. As you also mentioned that you worked with, your first projects was with Aniket Bhagwat, where you collaborated. So how do you see future of this kind of collaboration between manufacturers in general and landscape architects or designers?
So I think the collaboration is an absolute must, because we are all working towards the same goal. We are trying to make sites better, the projects better, trying to realize certain dreams for customers. So we feel we are part of the same team. So the closer we work together, the more we understand what landscape architects want, what they design the projects. That way we can adapt to our offerings. And on the other side, the landscape architecture fraternity could do well to be, maybe do some factory visits to understand what kind of products are possible, what is the extent of products that can be used, what is the customization possible, what customization would not be possible, and generally what is available in the market that they can use in their projects. Like with any field, there is always new things coming up. So the better the interaction, the better the give and take, the better it is for both sides and eventually for the customer. Yeah.
So coming to my final question
Yes.
now, you have been your company is over 5 decades old.
Right.
What is a legacy your company would like to leave behind for future?
So I am a little shy about this. I don't want to talk in grandstanding ways, but this is something we've told ourselves. I'll just share it with you. It's not something I want to say it out as a statement. But we've set ourselves a target that we want to be remembered, this era of Vyara tiles, this 20 years or 30 years of Vyara tiles. We want this era to be remembered as an era in which Vyara changed the paving scene or the streetscape scene of the country. So that's what we've told ourselves. It's not something we publish anywhere. And you won't hear me saying that anywhere else.
No, I think it is just beginning.
Let's hope.
So I think now the country is opening towards this change, and I do believe Vyara tiles will have a huge role to play in changing our cities.
Thank you so much.
So thank you, Mr. Mehul, for a wonderful conversation. And thanks for sharing all the insights with us. Hope to see you in November in the conference.
Absolutely. Pleasure was mine too. Thank you so much.
I also welcome all the members of ISOLA, academics, students, all the professionals to join us for IFLA APR conference in Mumbai, November 14th and 15th. Hope to see you all. Thanks for joining us.